The meeting proved to be successful, and the rehearsal that followed was far and away the best of the year. That Thursday rehearsal would eventually be identified as the turning point of the entire marching band season.
Basically, in the meeting, they just said, we've got to do it. This is our band. Mr. Moore wrote our drill. We had Doug Oatley write our music. We've had Mason do the drum work. Everything's there, but we're not giving enough to it. And we're the ones who are going to make it work. Mr. Moore can't go on the field with us and march the show for us or play the music for us. We have to go out there and decide that we're going to do it. And that goes for rehearsals, too, because like Mr. Moore always preaches, how you do in rehearsals is how you're going to do in performance. And so we decided that if we were going to win any kind of performance, we had to win in rehearsals. And that's what the meeting was about.
We kind of took on the attitude of, why be here? You're going to be here from 3 to 5, so why be there and not do the best that you can? I mean, let's just do it. And realize that it was a pure choice, that we were, in fact, in total control of how we finished that Saturday at Madison Central. And it was just up to us. We had the decision we got to make. We were lucky enough to decide whether or not we wanted to win or lose. And so we got together 15 minutes early and kind of took a vote and decided.
The juniors and seniors really wanted us to go for it because we weren't really wanting it. I guess we thought that we would get it, but it takes work. And we just now figured that out, that it takes a lot of work. And they wanted us to do it because they wanted to win. It was their senior year, and they wanted to win Murfreesboro.
Folks, y'all had one well rehearsal so far today. Boy, we needed this. That's great. It's just y'all got me so encouraged, energetic, enthused. Y'all some good people out here. Let's set up the walk-on.
It was just a different group. They worked, I've never seen them work that hard. And with so many new people, the sophomore and freshmen that we had, doing things that I wouldn't expect some of the juniors to do, just in marching fundamentals and really executing them well. I was shocked. And that's one thing that will always stick out in my mind is like, how can they transform themselves after a 15-minute get-together?
I hardly said a word all rehearsal. It turned out I had very little impact on the rehearsal. I was just there. I said, okay, do this, and they charged into it. And it was where I really developed a real respect for them. It was not the contest. It was the rehearsals that they were so good at. And that day, the determination was absolutely there, and the commitment was there. They worked so hard. It was just unbelievable. And there were several visitors that came that day, and they were in awe of the students and the organization that they had. They just really went after it. And it was certainly the turning point for that contest and for the entire season. That's when I knew they wanted it. That's when I knew that they had what it takes to really be champions. And I just stood back and watched it go. How'd that rehearsal feel? That's great, folks. Yeah. That's the fun part of it right there. And now Saturday we're going to have some fun too. Tomorrow night will be a great time. Tates Creek Band's coming over. We're going to try to get both shows on during halftime, which will be close. We may have, you know, if we have a rude football team from another school or something, not ours, of course. But, you know, they may run out on us at the end. But we'll just keep going. We'll just keep moving. And we're probably not going to do the walk-on tomorrow. We'll probably run out on the field and run off. We get it down real quick. You know, we'll probably do the walk-off. We'll probably not walk-on. I want you to understand that now we're competing with bands in our class that are inner city. Remember that if you don't beat a band on the field, don't try to beat them off the field by saying something stupid outside. We want to be good friends. All bands in Lexington are doing really well right now. We're all up. We're riding high. Let's do it together. Let's don't be divisive. Let's be encouraging. They've worked hard too at Tates Creek, at Campbell County, and GRC, Bryan Station, Harrison County. They've all worked hard, so let's be encouraging of other bands when you see them. Let them know you appreciate their work, because they work as hard as we are, almost. All right. I just want to tell you that I feel really lucky to have you all as my students. Fall in.
The prelims performance earned the band a spot in the finals. There, they would compete against two of the best high school bands in the state, the Harrison County Band from Cynthiana, Kentucky, and their longtime rivals, the George Riders Clark High School Band from Winchester, Kentucky.
Competition was on. They were on fire, as a matter of fact. But the emotion-packed performance that Lafayette put together was unbelievable, too. And the stands it just seemed like every time we performed, the stands went crazy. And it was more than Lafayette band parents that stood up. It was everybody. That was really fun for them. The lights made such a big difference that night. It just made the whole thing just become electric. And I was really able to enjoy it, to tell you the truth. It was one of those performances that I was going to be happy with, no matter what the outcome. I knew I was going to be happy with that one. They just did a super job.
One of the more unique moments of the marching season took place in Murray, Kentucky, the evening of October 5th, the day before the band was to compete in the Festival of Champions band contest. To save expenses, the band had arranged to spend the night at the Murray High School gymnasium. However, before the band could retire for the evening, band director Stephen Moore called for one more rehearsal. It began right around midnight.
He says, get in your block, and everyone, starts grumbling. But once you get there, it's different. I love the show, and I love performing it. So, every time we practiced it, I still had fun performing it. And so even if it, I forgot it was midnight when we were up on the balcony performing, the tiredness and stuff just kind of went away. The music just gives you more energy, and I forgot totally that it was midnight. After it was over, I was ready for bed, but while we're practicing, I just forgot that it was midnight and tiredness.
And I was like, had my sleeping bag in hand. I was like, let's go to bed. But he said, okay, let's get our instruments out, let's play. And I was like, what? But although everybody didn't like playing them, but once we started playing and you hear our sound in the gym, we just sound so huge and just wonderful. And it really turns your energy on. It really wants you to, it really gets you your blood pumping, and you really want to play.
Again, I have to go back to the rehearsal atmosphere is the most important thing. It's not the performance. It's such a concentration game that you want to practice your concentration. I called them to attention, and you could have heard a pin drop in the gymnasium. They were ready to go immediately. It was like they switched on a light switch that said concentration is now in effect, and they were going after it. If we'd have had the contest right then, nobody had a chance, because they were really intense, and that's the main word I had for that little rehearsal. And it was not a long rehearsal by any means. It was just a short burst of total intensity, concentration, and commitment on their parts right then.
The Festival of Champions band contest, held at Murray State University, has been growing in prestige the last several years and is now considered one of the best competitions in the state. It had been the band's greatest moment in 1989 when they were selected overall grand champion. To repeat the accomplishment would be difficult because the competition this year was exceptional. Among those competing were the John Overton High School Band from Nashville, Tennessee, the Greenwood High School Band from Indiana, and the Muhlenberg North High School Band from Muhlenberg, Kentucky. Lafayette was able to overcome these bands and others in the finals to take home a second straight Grand Champion trophy.
Our next trophy is presented by Music Central with a score of 92.16. The Grand Champion of the Festival of Champions from Lexington, Kentucky, Lafayette High School.
says you can't do it without the students, and you're right. But somewhere along the line, we've got to say we've got to have a guiding light, we've got to have a spirit, we've got to have the discipline, and have somebody with a cross. This is one of the best ones ever.
In keeping with the practice of years past, the band had been able to reserve the practice football field at the Shively Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Kentucky. It has proven to be an excellent place to prepare for their top competition of the year at the Contest of Champions. In addition to gaining a feel for an AstroTurf surface, the band is able to clean up and fine-tune particular aspects of the show. As good as the band had become to this point of the season, they would have to be even better if they were to accomplish their ultimate goal by winning in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It was at the Shively practices where they did get better and where they raised their effort to an even higher level.
We rehearsed over there twice, and I was just thrilled to death. After those rehearsals, I was really enthusiastic because I could see that it was coming together and that the forms looked super good. And the marching was really good on the AstroTurf. They were feeling a new confidence. They were just, it was a different band. They felt good about themselves. They felt really up to this challenge. I mean, I don't think that they were confident they were going to win Murfreesboro by any means. They just were ready for the challenge.
Anybody got a...
Okay, tonight now, when you hear that squeaky, clean, spinning sound on the grass, on the carpet, you know you're doing it right. When you get that squeaky turn, all in time, across the whole field, you know you'll be cooking tonight. Let's put the two together. Bam, push, up, 1, 2. Let's do a slide version this time. We'll put the two together, we're going to skip ahead. Concentrate with me now. It's the slide version. Left, followed by right. Be smart. Time, and okay, now listen carefully. Parade, rest. All right, it's been a tremendous rehearsal so far. We can quit, go home right now, or we can get better. A couple people asked me how I got 2 Murfreesboro patches on. It's not for the band that wins Saturday, it's for the band that rehearses the best. That's who they give those patches to. They're not given, they're earned. And it's done right now. When it gets tough, when you've been out here 2 hours, that's when you have to reach down and concentrate. Finish up just the kind of rehearsal we needed to have tonight. Every time we get ready to go somewhere, y'all put together a great rehearsal. Let's cap it off. Let's take the last 30 minutes and move to a new level. You don't want to take any chances. You hit that field center, you want to know that you did everything you possibly could have done. You left no stone unturned.
The day before the band was to leave for Murfreesboro, the weather, which had been superb all year, suddenly turned rotten. Fortunately,